Not many, not many.
But before we toast Edna, I want to say this has been kind of an eventful month for us. Ryan had a birthday, and Shani had a birthday last weekend, and Kevin had a birthday.
Wow. Last week, yeah.
I'm running out.
Adrian's hiding.
Adrian's going to be 18 tomorrow.
18!
Oh. And Karen and Lou celebrated an anniversary, and they went up to Manhattan and spread a little money around to juice up the economy. But it's been kind of an eventful month. But let's raise our glasses and.
I don't have many. But it's okay.
What is she drinking? Give her a can. Happy birthday to Edna.
Happy birthday.
And
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Edna.
Many returns of the day.
yeah, that's right. Now,
I want to be around for the second 100.
I want to say a couple of things about Edna, and then I've asked others if they can think of. I know it was tough to think of something nice to say about
Whoa!
but I'm gonna start it off with something serious, and I'll end it with something a little humorous. All true. You know, why do people live long? You know. I've grown to feel that if you have a lot of people around you that love you a lot, you know, I think that's the energy that you need to live a long life. But I remember a Christmas that we had. We still lived in our first house on Shared Road, and we decided, Carlene and I, to have a homemade Christmas. So nobody would buy gifts. We would invite a lot of people, and you would make something to give to people. And everybody did that. We had a lot of people, you know, twice as many as are here today.
Oh!
No. But Edna knitted sweaters for everybody. Now, I couldn't believe, you know, what she did with her time. I can't believe, because all those sweaters that she gave to people, I couldn't believe that she had the time to do it. But that's an example of Edna, that she's such a giving person. And I think everybody realized then how sharing and how giving and what a loving person she is. Now, I've said that. I'm going to end it in a couple of minutes after everyone else has something to say. And it will blunt what I just said. Right? I know Ryan has a couple of things to say.
Oh, I do.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
I woke up and I thought about a lot of things, you know, how to get serious, but Dave showed me a couple of speeches here. And I tried to write them all down, and, well, you know, I'll just pick out the top 10. Graham, I know we all watch TV with you. A couple of funny things to talk about roasts. I think Casey just mentioned it. You know, we had the Bob Hope. We had Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., the old roasts. But you've outlived them all. But that was the funny side. Seriously, I wish my brother was here, actually. I remember Valley Stream very well. Spending the weekends with you. We would go to the store, we'd get a toy, or we'd walk down to the card store and get baseball cards. The things we would do in the neighborhood, the fireworks that were shot off on the 4th of July, that my brother and I would go out and pick up the old fireworks and set them off after the 4th of July. One thing was really, and Louise may remember this or not, we used to polish pennies out on Gigi's patio in the backyard. We would sit there and polish these pennies. It was, we were young. I don't know how old we were, 4, 5, 6 years old, but those are some of the memories that I have, which are very important to me, Gigi. You took Robbie and I to the MacArthur Air Show. I don't know, I think we were like 10 years old. did that. It was just incredible. But these are a lot of memories that I have of Gigi. One of my fondest memories is we went to the circus. It was a surprise. Gigi picked me up. Mom, I don't know if it was my birthday or not, but I remember going to see the elephants. You know, you took me in the back. And you can't do that today. But we walked through and we actually saw the elephants. But, you know, Graham did that with me. And, you know, I got the, remember Ringling Brothers and Barnum Deli Circus? You had the little necklace with the light on it. You really remember that? The little pen light used to wing it around. But, you know, these are memories. These are awesome memories. Easter Sundays, spending it, we had our Easter bonnet. And Louise in her Easter bonnet, and our little, where is Malachi? He came in with a tie. We would get dressed up and we would go to the church. I can't remember the church, Graham, but it was this monstrous church.
Blessed Sacrament.
Blessed Sacrament. We were always late. It was but it was wonderful. We would have New Year's Eve, Guy Lombardo. We remember Guy Lombardo. We would have mini sandwiches. You know, we would have the liverwurst sandwiches, we would have egg salad sandwiches, little mini rye breads. That was, Graham made that so important, and Aunt Lil, God bless her heart. We had root beer floats, I think, at the midnight. But, you know, these are really important things that, you know, we kind of forget about.
Who forget?
I don't. And it's a serious story. Dad asked me 2 weeks ago to come up with things to say, and right away you think about things, and it's so easy. Wednesday morning, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and Sue says, "What are you doing up?" And it was just clear as day. Everything was right there, and I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and just started hammering out all of these memories. I didn't hammer them all out, but they were all there. The one thing, Graham, is that even St. Patrick's Day, you made that special with your corned beef and cabbage. You know, I go back, the house would smell like corned beef and cabbage. You know, 2 days later, but it was special. It was how to make holidays special. Everybody in the room who'd come miles to celebrate this wonderful birthday with everyone as a family, I want to say thank you. But Graham, you know, I hope I can demonstrate family as you have given to me with not only the family that's in here in the room, but with my family as I get older. And I want to say thank you very much.
Does anyone else have a memory they'd like to share? Camille?
Okay, I was not
You
born
have to
into
stand up.
I was not born into the family, but I certainly feel very much a part of it. I've known Edna and Arlene since I was 13, so that goes back quite a few years. And Edna, while I was growing up, I remember her being like Dear Abby. She was always there to offer her advice about my then first love, if you remember, Robert Watson, who was great friends of, you know, Rich and Perline at the time, always there to offer me some advice. And the other thing I remember was the pajama party she hosted. We had lots of fun in the apartment with many of the pajama parties, and my daughter Paula would also like to put her little 2 cents in, and she wants to thank you for making her garter when she got married.
Oh, yeah.
So she remembers that very well, and thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Anyone else?
Well, seeing as I'm the only granddaughter, but I'm holding a grandson right now, so can't stand up. Like Ryan said, so many memories of togetherness. I can't remember a time Graham didn't show up for the most minor thing. Any recital, any play, any birthday, you were always there. Wednesday nights, I knew was dinner. Gigi was coming from Valley Stream. She was coming from the Bacus. And she was bringing rye bread and black and whites. And no, we had to be home Wednesday nights for dinner for Graham. I don't know how the roles switched. At some point we had to drive to Valley Stream, but I was getting my license at the time, so it was a good drive in the Southern State Parkway. I was allowed to start driving to Graham's house. A funny memory I have, which really wasn't funny at the time, but we had just dropped Mom off. She was going to a party at Booz Allen. And we drove her to the train station in Valley Stream. It must have been a hurricane, a tornado, I don't know what it was. We left Mom at the train station, and we got back in the car to drive home, and we couldn't see out the window. And so Graham pulled over, and a tree started to fall on the car behind us. And so Gigi said, I have to drive. The trees are falling on us. I need you to pray. God bless us and save us. And to this day, it has not left my head. God bless us and save us. God bless us and save us. And like when I'm in a disastrous, if I'm in a bad situation, at any point, I just always remember Gigi teaching me, God bless me and save me.
Why do you always say that when I'm around?
Well,
Now that I'm a grandmother myself, I can confidently enter the role because I learned from the best.
Who else has something to say?
Well, I guess I can tie on to this theme of food that we're talking about. I remember as a kid, a little kid, going into Valley Stream for Sunday dinners with the family. And of course then Edna would make a big display, and all the china would be out, and food would be all over, and I'd be the only one sitting there not eating. And she'd say to me, Jimmy, why aren't you eating? I said, I'm not hungry. She said, what can I get for you? And I would say, Wheaties, peaches, and bananas. So from that time on, anytime we came to visit, the dinner would be there, and my plate of Wheaties, peaches, and bananas.
I have some fond memories of my Aunt Edna. Dancing with you and laughing with you and listening to your stories about growing up in Manhattan with your brothers and sister.
That was at the wedding.
Well, we still danced. But Ryan's story about the circus brought something back. When I was a little tight, I was probably 7 years old. Aunt Edna, my Aunt Edna, had this incredible inspiration of courage and decided she was going to take the cousins, which consisted of Carlene as the ringleader, my brother, my cousin Bobby, and down to my cousin Eddie and me. Eddie and I, guess, around 7 years old. So we slept at Edna's apartment, and it was chaos, it was nuts. And the next day, we decided to take the subway to the circus. So Aunt Edna said, okay, now listen, kids. When we get to the subway, you're going to see turnstiles. You kids go under the turnstiles. I'm going to be behind you, and I'm going to put the token in for my cell phone. Remember, go under the turnstile. Yeah, so Eddie and I go on. So we get to the subway, and there are the turnstiles. And there's a transit cop standing there right next to it. So, of course, Carlene goes, Jimmy and Bobby were a little bit older. They just look around. Eddie and I, boom, under the tire. He goes over the turnstile. I go on. We're dancing on the other side. And the cop's looking at us, and then he goes, no, boys. We must put our tokens in. No, you said it. No, we must put tokens in. That was good. Stuck in my mind.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have one. When I got Pop's email about thinking of something, the memory of Gigi, I thought about the first thing that came to mind was the goose poop condo. Spending time at the goose poop condo. And I have this memory of, I guess, Gigi and Aunt Lil were babysitting me. And it was 4th of July, and so they made this beautiful 4th of July cake with the whipped cream and all the berries on top. And we were going to a party, so we get in the car, and Aunt Lil and Gigi are fighting over who's going to drive and who's going to hold the cake. So we get in the car, and I'm in the back, and one of them, I don't remember who it was, somebody's driving and somebody's holding the cake. and they're bickering some more, and whoever's driving slams on the brake. Out flies the cake. And they're just cursing at each other. I'm sure they don't have this as a good memory, but I have a memory of Aunt Lil and Deej just like, this is the relationship I have with my sister. So that's, and then also at that apartment, I remember we would have sleepovers and Deej would make us do the prayer. And if I die before I wake, and I would say, no, Deej, I'm not praying that. Yes, you have to pray. It's very important. I'm like, I'm not going to die before I wake. I'm not praying that. So Mom was saying how special that is that, you know, not many people can say they have memories of their great-grandma praying with them. And
Why be a great-grandma today?
yes,
Nice try. As much as you want to deny your age,
Yeah.
your great-grandmother back then.
Deej, you have to remember the Christmas pajamas. It wasn't always Christmas Eve. We got a.
Oh yeah, and I have carried on that tradition. My grandkids always get their Christmas pajamas every year. Yep. Does anybody besides me, my children wouldn't remember, but you guys, how Graham called the toilet the turlet, and she put Earl in her car? and I would be like, why does Graham call the oil Earl? And why does she call it a turlet? You don't talk like that, my dad would say.
Oh boy, the things they remember.
Growing up in Queens, Graham, right?
In Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Brooklyn.
She got a little one growing up, so she better listen.
And where were you born in Brooklyn?
No, it's more than that.
Oh, Manhattan.
Lower East Side.
Didn't she grow up like in the Flatbush area?
All right, I'll tell my last one. Okay.
I also thought of the Goose Scoop condos, you know, already from Pop, but I remember it as brown condos instead of Goose Scoop.
Oh, the outside of Brown?
Yes, but always going there and getting the mint chocolate little candy balls. And then, of course, singing Dolly in the Pocket. And
Oh, dance with the dolly with the hole in her
pocket.
stocking. Yeah, knocking in her knees, keep it knocking.
In Nan and Pop's backyard. But the other thing that I really remember and appreciate was always getting those little prayer books that you would send. And I feel like that was one of the beginning of my faith. And being full circle, another great memory that I have is, I mean, it's not great, but at Lauren's wedding, when you broke both your arms, being able to lay in the bed with you and read the Bible to you to bring you comfort when you had your broken arms. And the last memory, along with Pop's generosity, I always enjoyed getting your birthday cards because unlike everybody else where you can loosen the card and the check falls out, you would always have it on lockdown. These pieces of tape and papers folded up, so it was always a challenge to get a birthday check from Gigi.
All right, I'll end this with a memory.
Never mind.
She knows what she knows. When I was winding down my business, I was operating it out of my home on Long Island, and we had answering machines in those days. Kids won't remember what answering machines were, but they had these little tapes. Remember the little tapes, and you use them over and over again. Well, I came in from someplace and I go to the answering machine. There's about 10 or 12 messages out there. And I hit it. I don't know whether it was the first one or the second one, but it was Edna. Mitchell, Aunt Lillian lost her teeth. She thinks she dropped them on your driveway last night. Would you go out and look for them? So, I wanted to hear the rest of the messages before I went out and looked for Aunt Lily's teeth. So I went through 2 or 3 more, and it was Edna again. She said, Richard, you don't have to look for Aunt Lillian's teeth. We found them in the potatoes out in the garage. Okay, let's sing Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Luigi. Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Their alarms are going on?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the sparkler set off the alarm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hang on.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, the fire department's probably gonna show up now.
Oh,
They can talk to Edna.
no. Thanks, Jerry.
There's enough cake.
We were lighting them and make sure the fire.
So
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, well, that'll
okay.
make for a memorable 100th.
You can just cut one piece and
I hope they don't arrest you.
Yeah.